William Struthers, Wired for Intimacy, How Pornography Hijacks the Male Brain. In Wired for Intimacy, How Pornography Hijacks the Male Brain, William Struthers delves into the intricate ways pornography affects men psychologically and neurologically. Exploring the vast and easily accessible world of internet pornography, this book examines its ramifications on male perception, intimacy, and relationships. As Struthers navigates through the moral and ethical debates surrounding porn's legitimacy, he uncovers the subtle intellectual dodges that often sidestep this deeply personal issue. By revealing how porn rewires the brain and distorts a healthy sexual ethic, the book provides invaluable insights into the biological allure of pornography and its false promises of intimacy. Prepare yourself for an enlightening journey that not only highlights the dangers of porn but also guides men toward a path of recovery, encompassing a biblical sexual ethic rooted in genuine human connection and emotional fulfillment.
Porn's perilous trap. The internet has turned pornography into a rampant, easily accessible phenomenon, transforming it into a multi-billion-dollar industry that thrives in anonymity. Yet, the glaring dangers of porn remain under-discussed, particularly how it commodifies human sexuality, degrading both men and women in the process. Pornography can hijack a mind, sometimes leading to devastating life consequences. Surprisingly, discussions on this topic often evoke discomfort, even among individuals aspiring to live by high moral standards. Proponents of pornography employ three common defenses that cloud the issue's core. The first is the definition dodge, asserting that porn cannot be clearly defined, muddling it with erotic art. Yet, discerning the distinction is often a straightforward matter. The second defense, the constitutional dodge, argues that pornography falls under free speech protections. However, just as certain restrictions on free speech are deemed necessary, such as with child pornography, similar considerations could apply to porn due to its societal harm. Lastly, the causal dodge points to research merely showing correlation between porn and its adverse effects, without definitive proof of causation. This mirrors tactics used historically by the tobacco industry. Despite this, the frequent accounts of lives disrupted by porn make it reasonable to assert that where there's smoke, there's fire. Pornography purports to offer fulfillment but instead contaminates the divine gift of sex, reducing it to a mere transaction. It offers the illusion of intimacy while breeding loneliness. Fueled by the internet, porn has deeply embedded itself in our culture, reshaping the perception of sexuality. Yet, hope lies in reclaiming a virtuous understanding of sexuality, though this will demand a formidable cultural shift. The illusion of intimacy. Pornography seduces with the promise of intimacy, but it ultimately undermines it by distorting perceptions of women and relationships. This allure often stems from something inherent in the male brain, the captivating appeal of the female form. This attraction can be so powerful that it overwhelms rational judgment. While some men justify their engagement with porn through curiosity or fantasy, it frequently masks deeper issues of control and distorted intimacy. Depression and low self-esteem can exacerbate this tendency, turning impulsive inclinations into compulsive habits. These habits carve deep neural pathways in the brain, creating an addiction-like cycle where short-term pleasure becomes a relentless pursuit. In reality, this indulgence distorts moods, hampers self-control, and objectifies women. Men begin to view women not as complex individuals, but as objects of desire, contributing to an unhealthy and fragmented understanding of sexuality. Despite this, there remains an internal struggle, a sense that something is fundamentally wrong with these interactions. This feeling often leads to guilt, which, over time, can morph into denial or self-loathing. As exposure to pornography increases, the brain's wiring alters, making genuine intimacy harder to attain. This can create isolation, impairing the ability to develop meaningful and enduring romantic relationships. The solution lies in redefining intimacy by embracing a view that respects partners as complete beings. Understanding and addressing the root issues fueling this dependence allows individuals to rewire their neural responses toward a healthier, more authentic connection. Pornography appears to offer freedom, but it ultimately ensnares its users in loneliness and superficial connections. The journey toward redemption and true intimacy involves reconnecting with the deeper values of respect and love. Wired for desire. Consuming pornography can rapidly snowball into an addiction, exploiting the male brain's natural sexual tendencies. Pornography leverages visual cues that act as high-definition signals, instantly capturing male attention. Brain scans show intense activation in men's reward and emotional circuits when they watch porn, with mirror neurons firing as though they are participating in the acts themselves. This habitual viewing leads to the deep embedding of neural pathways, cementing a cycle of arousal that's linked not to real experiences but to digital images and clips. This neurological loop, driven by dopamine and testosterone, fuels ongoing sexual desire. However, the hormones responsible for fostering deep connections and attachment, like oxytocin and vasopressin, remain inert in these scenarios. Consequently, pornography establishes a powerful grip on the male brain, luring it away from genuine human connections. The silver lining lies in the brain's remarkable adaptability. By understanding the science behind these habits, men can cultivate healthy habits and develop new, more wholesome pathways. Reclaiming control over one's desires and redirecting them towards meaningful relationships is possible. This journey requires more than mere willpower, urging a deeper integration of scientific insights with a renewed and enlightened view of masculinity. Redefining masculinity. To escape the hold of pornography, we must first redefine what it truly means to be masculine. Men have distinct brain wiring, leading to unique patterns of arousal, but societal norms often misguide them. Traditional concepts of masculinity focus on dominance, competitiveness, aggression, and emotional restraint, limiting men and pushing them toward damaging behaviors. These norms suggest men are inherently prone to immorality and lack self-control. The path to redemption lies in embracing the biblical manhood embodied by Jesus, who balanced strength with tenderness and served others selflessly. Modern masculinity should reflect this by promoting self-giving love, personal growth through overcoming challenges, and commitment to what is right without resorting to control or aggression. Men should offer love, mentorship, and wisdom, recognizing their worth beyond worldly achievements. By understanding a healthy masculinity as envisioned in God's image, we can free ourselves from pornography's grip. This addiction feeds off society's distorted ideals of manhood. Jesus provides a powerful example of masculinity rooted in love. Healing requires distinguishing between superficial maleness and profound, Christ-like manhood, recognizing that masculinity is shaped by biology, culture, and spirit. Embracing this understanding and grace-filled biblical manhood guides us to direct our desires toward grace and sanctification. Reclaiming true intimacy. Intimacy transcends mere survival, anchoring our deepest desires to be genuinely known and cherished. It's a reflection of our divine essence and the force that steers us toward authentic connections. Sexual energy, when properly channeled, fosters profound communion, allowing us to glimpse the divine in others. In marriage, this energy forges a bond between spouses, guiding them toward eternal joy. True intimacy emerges from understanding one's soul, not just the physical form, and mirrors God's essence through selflessness. Non-sexual intimacy thrives in deep friendships and communities, offering rich connections for singles. However, when sexual energy focuses solely on physical desires, as seen in pornography, it dilutes genuine intimacy and often leads to dissatisfaction. Masturbation, too, can become a self-sufficient escape rather than a path to connection, yet it isn't inherently wrong. For single men, it might meet sexual needs healthily, but married men must consider its implications on their partnership. Moderation, careful reflection, and divine guidance can protect against extremes. True healing comes from embracing vulnerability, grace, and the divine calling of our sexuality, steering away from pornography's false allure toward lasting, meaningful relationships. Path to holiness. Pornography devastates lives, yet our sexuality, when properly harnessed, holds the potential to foster holiness. Embracing this transformative power can liberate us from its hold. As embodied beings, our neural pathways are sculpted by seemingly small choices, leading us toward either virtuousness or vice. True recovery involves retraining the brain through spiritual growth, starting with the honest admission of the issue and illuminating it with divine truth. Besides confiding in peers, it is crucial to seek guidance from a wise mentor who can provide accountability, with professional counseling mending fractured relationships also paving the way for healing. Within a supportive community, men can inspire one another to honor their God-given passions while preserving sexual purity. By cultivating new, sacred habits like scripture study, prayer, and selfless acts, they gradually realign their neural circuits with a Christ-like path. Keeping an eye on lasting spiritual impact helps to resist fleeting urges. Breaking free from the grip of porn is intertwined with an earnest quest for holiness. Our ever-changing brains must be consciously guided towards righteousness, understanding that grace, not shame, accompanies this journey. In discovering their essence as embodied beings, men can reclaim their authentic desires for intimacy and transcendence, finding peace in fully embracing God's vision of intimacy.
Ultimately, Struthers' Wired for Intimacy underscores the profound impact of pornography on the male psyche, emphasizing its ability to rewire the brain towards addiction and altered perceptions of intimacy. As the book highlights the destructive cycle of porn consumption, from initial curiosity to compulsive behaviors, it also offers a hopeful path towards recovery through embracing a wholesome, biblical masculinity. Understanding the biological grip of pornography and society's distorted ideals of manhood, the narrative calls for a return to genuine intimacy, where spiritual and emotional connection take precedence over mere physical gratification. This redemption starts with acknowledging the issue, reshaping neural pathways, and fostering accountability within a supportive community. By embracing the grace-filled blueprint of masculinity modeled by Jesus, men can reclaim their innate desires for intimacy and find profound, lasting fulfillment beyond the superficial allure of pornography.